Hello, my name is Tamby. Welcome back to my channel. I just did a video on a small recap on the webinar that I just got done doing a class on ghost hunting. So that was fun. But right now I want to do another video on one of my haunted experiences when I was, I think, 13. Like 13, 15 years old. It was one of those ages, and I know that's not very helpful. And I went to the Deer Lodge prison for a school trip. And so we were learning about stuff at the Deer Lodge prison. Now, at this time, I wasn't as far in my spirituality. I didn't know what I was. I didn't know what was happening to me. I just thought I was crazy. And I was doped up on a bunch of medications, so that didn't help. But we were going through the tour of the prison. But I want to give you a little bit of a recap before I do this about the prison. So the old prison is in Deer Lodge, Montana. It is said that it is haunted. I believe that it is because of how many people have died there. The low energy there is, you can feel it, especially if you're sensitive. And especially that place just held a lot of dangerous people, which is understandable. But yes, so in October, I don't know if they're going to do it this year because of the pandemic, but normally in October, they doctor it up all nice and they do a haunted prison, haunted. Like a haunted house, basically, for Halloween. And I don't know if it's on Halloween, but I know that it's in October, and I've done it numerous times in Halloween or in October, and it's very fun. But yeah, it is also said that after that haunted house thing, they do a real ghost hunting tour where they take people around. I think it starts at 1 a.m. I think, and it goes until 3. I hope I'm correct. And they do EVPs, they do walkthroughs, they do this ghost hunt thing around the prison. It's cool. So back to where I was on a school trip at this prison in Deer Lodge, Montana. We were doing a school trip and we were going through, I was excited. I like old places. And at the time I didn't register, the energies I was feeling, but I knew stuff was happening. I apologize for the amount of times that I say because I'm thinking about what was happening during that time. So we get to these cells. There's this hallway, and then there's these group of cells that have one big lever to open certain cells, and they have their bar cells in the older times. Because this is a really old prison. And a whole bunch of people were like, hey, I want to be locked in. I want to be locked in. This sounds so cool. I was one of those people. And so I get in to the cell, and the guard shuts the door, and I'm facing towards the rails of the, what is it called? The cell door. And all of a sudden, I smell something so horrible. I mean, it wasn't there when I first got in there, but then I'm just standing there holding on to the rails. and I smell the smell that smells like rotten fish, like rotten food. It smelled so gross. And I go and I turn around slowly, and I just feel this presence in there with me. It was scary. It felt like someone was going to hurt me. Like, that's how afraid I was. And I just felt this really heavy energy. And I didn't understand at the time what was happening, but I just knew that I was afraid and I needed to get out of there, like, immediately. And so I started having a panic attack, and I was like shaking the rails, screaming, and like everyone was making fun of me because they weren't feeling what I was feeling. I was like, let me out, please, please let me out, I need out. And I was like shaking the bars in panic. And the tour guide's like, calm down, it's okay, I'll get you out. And I'm just panicking, just almost screaming. And like, I don't know what was in there with me, but I felt it. And it made me react. I was so afraid. And so finally I was able to get calmed down enough where he was able to unlatch the door, because every time I was banging the what's it called? The bars, it would make sure that it wasn't clicking properly to be able to open it. So every time I was rocking like this, it was stopping the tour guide from opening the door. So I calmed down enough for it to let me out, and I ran out of that cell. Like, oh my God. Like, a lot of people thought I was crazy. They were making fun of me. Like, they didn't understand. I barely understood what was happening. And they were just like, oh, Tamby, you're just delusional. Like, oh, you're just scared because you were locked in a cell. You're a pussy. You know, just totally degrading me. And I'm just petrified, traumatized because of what I experienced. And I was young. And I've been having experiences like that since I was very, very little. Like, before I could full on speak. And I have an amazing memory. So we get out of there and we're still doing a tour. Everything goes good. But that cell gave me the heebie-jeebies. And so finally it ended and we went home. But I've never forgot that experience of me being locked in the cell. Like, and that smell, like, it was only when I was in the cell. Like, I was in the cell for probably about a good 2 minutes. But I didn't smell it right away. It just kind of creeped up on me slowly. And it was like, ugh, like, what is that? And then I felt it. I felt that heaviness in the room. I felt like someone was going to come up behind me and grab me. So, yeah. That is my story about the time that I had a paranormal experience, having a tour of the old prison in Deer Lodge, Montana. Right, bye.